So here's the real characteristics of your hair that you should be paying attention to when you're trying to figure out what to do with your hair routine, what products to use, exactly when you just need guidance. And if you really want to know what your hair is, what it does, what type of hair you have, let's talk about the characteristics of the hair. So this is what you need to know. First, the growth pattern. So, do you have any cowlicks or do you have any whorls in your hair? This is more common within other cultures as far as maybe white or Asian. However, there are many people that do still have cowlicks and whorls. So, it's something that you may not see all the time, but it's still very much so still a thing. So, growth pattern. This is most important, or this comes into play when in regards to shortcuts and bangs. If somebody has a whirl or a cowlick at the front of their head and you cut a bang, that bang is going to pop up. If they have a cowlick or whirl at the nape of the neck or sometimes around the hairline, if you go really short on a short cut, it may actually look like that person has a bald spot. Next, you want to think about what is your hair's density. So density is simply the number of strands per square inch on your head. I hope you guys can appreciate my drawings. So this is thin. This is what would be considered thin density. There's three categories. So thin, medium, and thick. So if you say, oh, I have thick hair or I have thin hair, that's in regards to the density. The hair texture is the thickness of each individual strand. So do you have fine strands, medium strands, or coarse strands? Next, we have the wave pattern. The wave pattern is the shape of the hair strand. So most times when people try to say, oh, what type of hair do I have? 4A, 4B, 3C? What you're really trying to determine is your wave pattern, not necessarily your hair like type, but the wave pattern. So the wave pattern has four categories, and the four categories are straight, wavy, curly, and extremely curly. Now, bonus things I may need to mention that I didn't break down with visuals, but when you're looking at the characteristics of your hair, something else that should be factored in is the elasticity and the porosity. Okay, so let's go over some examples with characteristics of the hair. It's possible to have somebody that has cowlicks, thin hair, coarse texture, and a straight wave pattern. Another example is possible for somebody to have no whorls, medium density, fine texture, and an extremely curly wave pattern. And lastly, so we can just kind of touch all of them, it is possible to have thick density, medium texture, and then to have curly wave pattern, right? So I hope that this little breakdown gives you some type of understanding and clarity as far as why it's unfair to just put your hair in a chart. There's over 4 billion women on this planet Earth, and you can mix match these many different ways. There's so many ways. And then a bonus point for you guys is it is possible to have multiple wave patterns in one head of hair. It's possible to have multiple textures in the same person's head of hair. And it is possible to have multiple densities in one head of hair. Some people may have on the edges or the nape area, they might have thin density. And then when you get to maybe the middle of the hair, they may have thick density. So there's just too many combinations to say, oh, you're 4A, 4B, 4C. There's just too many ways to do it. So please let me know if this video was of any help.